can see the peripheral lung. So these are the three main zones: is the subcutaneous pre-mammary zone, and the retromammary zone. This is the normal breast. What we can get here. This is the nipple shadow, and this is the post-areolar shadow, because nipple is formed with a densely composed ductal tissue and adipose tissue, so it causes strong shadowing. So this is the retrotumor or nipple shadow, or also known as areola. Then we are having the normal glandular tissue, which is having the multiple fine globules or glands and fibroadipose tissues, and these are the thin streak, echogenic streaks, which are part of the Cooper's ligament. And then we are having the retromammary zone. This is the retromammary zone, which is seen as investing fascia, and then we are having the muscles here, and then this is the rib, and this is highly reflective area, which is seen here, is the peripheral lung, because it contains air which reflects the sound wave, so it is coming as a. And you can see the movements here. Ask patient to take slowly breath while doing ultrasound, and you can see the movement of the lung here. This is the lung, this is the chest wall, this is the mammary zone, retromammary zone, this is the muscle, this is the retromammary zone, this is the glandular tissue, our main mammary zone. And then at times we can see the lump like this, and at times clinically they think this is some problem. No, but this is the accessory breast. If you see, the tissue is similar to this is the accessory breast, and we can see this is the normal tissue, this is the upper outer quadrant here, and this is this one is this, so all are the same. So this is the accessory breast, this is nothing, a normal accessory. Then we can see the ducts, which are seen running to the nipple, and normally these ducts are not more than should not be more than 3 millimeter, and if they are more than 3 millimeter, then we should suspect of ductal dilatation. And physiological dilatation we can see in lactating mothers. In lactating mothers we can see the physiological dilatation, and like this is not the pathology. This is not the pathology. We can see here, this is the ductal dilatation in a lactating mother, tubules running from all sides to the nipple, and this is a normal duct. So all this thing we can see here. Then we can see postmenopausal breast, where we can see the glandular tissue is, because in menopause, postmenopause, the glandular tissue that shrinks on fatty tissue that predominate, and this is the area where we can see the fatty tissue. The glandular tissue shrinks. This is the retromammary zone, and this is the small glandular tissue. Then on little or no glandular tissue in old women, and then when we already told you the nipple gives you the shadowing. Then we can coming to the benign breast masses. What happens? Not only ultrasound tells you about the malignancy, it is very useful in telling you the benign breast masses. Like in a lady who was having the fat necrosis, breast cyst, hematoma, plasma cell mastitis, ductal ectasia, and lipoma. This is a lady who was having a dense, highly engorged, swollen breast on either side. She was a case of CHF actually, and this is all breast edema. Due to the CHF, she was having the congestive cardiac failure, having the lot of fluid stasis in the body, and so these breasts are also having engorged, and there is nothing problem, only these are the fluid collection seen in both the breasts, and when the CHF was managed, the swelling also went off. So there is nothing wrong, except she was having engorged, tense, hard, swollen breast. Then we are coming to the cyst. The criteria of the cyst is the same with what we get in everywhere. They are well defined, sharp margins, anechoic, and we should have a post-cystic enhancement. And so these are the compound imaging. Multiple well-defined tiny cyst, and this is a single loculated cyst. What we can see, ultrasound sensitivity is 100%, or we all know. Then we can see again multiple cysts we have seen here. Then we are seeing the ductal ectasia. Ducts are dilated more than 3 millimeters, 6 millimeter, 4 millimeter, running based on a ductal aesthesia, and we can see a plasma cell mastitis in a painful joint. This is a difficult situation, and then we have to take the help of ultrasound guided FNAC. This is a fat necrosis, which is seen here, central area of necrosis seen in the superficial fat layer, and we can see a small tumor. You can see here well defined homogeneous small tumor which is seen here, seen running obliquely, is a small fibroadenoma. Then not only that, in young children or young girls, ultrasound is very helpful. This is a young girl only of 10 years of age, having normal even not the developmental breast development has taken place, but we can see here this is something wrong here. And what we found, that there is a big collection seen here in this breast, the central area of necrosis you can see here. Then we can see here this is hyperemia in the, and this was a tuberculosis of the breast. In a young girl, she was having the tuberculosis of the breast. You can see here. This is the breast, this is the normal chest wall, this is the lump. She was not having pain, slow going, 3 months of history. Then she was also having the plain X-ray, I got it done, and she was also having the pulmonary tuberculosis. So this is the tuberculosis of the breast. Same thing, if you see in the young girl of 14 years of age, she came to me as a lump over here, upper medial quadrant. Here you can see, and this is the X-ray which shows you the tubercular infiltration. What happened? This primary focus was in the lung. Then there it is in white. This is the sternum, medial border of the sternum on the left side. These are the ribs which are cracked, and from here there is a broken and the caries which has taken place, and this abscess which has started invading the sternum, and then it invaded the upper inner quadrant of the breast. You can see this is an abscess. Again, this is a tuberculosis of the lung. What we are getting now in our situation which are developing countries, and these are the atypical cases of tuberculosis, and unfortunately they are the resistance type of tuberculosis, and so they need more treatment with multi-drug, even 4 or 5 drug combination therapy, more than 9 months, even at times 1.5 years to 2 years, and ultrasound is very helpful in evaluating. Situation like this, in when we get a big pyogenic abscess. This is a lady who was 5 months pregnant. She was 5 months pregnancy, then having a big lump here in the breast, and this is a big pyogenic abscess you can see. And this is the layering sign we got everywhere in the abscess. We can see the pus collection with layering formation in a big abscess which is seen here in the breast. Then again, what happened in this lady? This breast is fully fine, but this is highly swollen, red, hot breast, and she was having chills and rigors. She was having chills and rigors with high fever, and this is a filarial breast. These are the dilated ducts, and at times when we try to see it, we can see the movement of the microfilaria in acute attack. So these are the situations. She gives a typical history, but having a high fever with chills and rigors, and this is a highly edematous, swollen mastitis involving whole of the breast here in a case of filarial breast. Then not only that, again you can see this is a lady who gave typical history. She came to me from 500 km away, that something white like milk coming out from both breasts, and the amount is that she can fill 2 bowls from each side. It was a filarial chyle. It was a chyle fluid, and you can see the ductal dilatation. At times the patient themselves are very intelligent and give you the clue to come to the diagnosis. So she was not a very literate. She came from a village, but she was very intelligent. She told me कि डॉक्टर साहब सफेद सफेद पानी निकलता है, कटोरी भर जाती है. Typical. What it could be? It could be only a chyle. So again, this is, you can see the huge dilated ducts over here, and this is a filarial breast. And this is a young girl, lady, who came to me with a history of the breast lump. Clinically thought it's a breast lump, but when I found breast was absolutely fine, and this is an abscess which is seen in the pectoralis major. This is the breast tissue which is seen lifted up, and this is a retromammary layer and the muscle. This is nothing but this is an abscess which is seen in the pectoralis major. So all these things ultrasound can help you. Then coming to the fibroadenomas, or we know as breast mouse, we know that they are solid, well-defined lobulated nodular masses, uniform echo-patterned with hypoechoic texture. Macrocalcification can be present, increased mobility, large adenoma can show necrosis, and this is known as left sign. Longitudinal AP diameter ratio, if it is more than 1.4, then we can see that it is a fibroadenoma or benign tumor. What happens? These adenoma, they tend to grow transversely instead of vertically or long. So this is the differentiation from malignancy, because malignant tumor, they try to have a tendency to grow anterior-posteriorly. So fibroadenoma, that's why their longitudinal diameter is more than AP diameter, that's why we should have a lab ratio more than 1.4. So these are the benign tumors. Like we can again see the vascularity in the fibroadenomas, and these are the small fibroadenomas which are not clinically palpable. So they are well defined, homogeneous, hypoechoic in texture. What we can see here, they are sub-centimeter size of nodules, again small fibroadenomas. At times we get giant fibroadenomas involving whole of the breast in young girls, like 17-year-old age girl. She was having the giant huge fibroadenomas, can you see, with macrocalcification, having the acoustic shadowing. These are having the acoustic shadowing, huge macrocalcific tumors involving whole of the, but if you see, they are again well defined, sharp margins, by and large homogeneous in texture, and they tend to grow transversely. Can you see? They tend to grow transversely. So these are the giant fibroadenomas in a 17-year-old girl. This is a 17-year-old girl, and this is a 35-year-old lady. So what we can call, again with their characteristic features, they are the benign tumors. And this is a very unusual case. This lady came to me as a case of breast lump. When we found a big mass here, almost homogeneous, then we found a cyst over here, and then we found an echogenic nidus seen fixed in the inner wall of the cyst. So immediately you can think this is an unusual site, and this is a cysticercus cyst which is seen in the breast. How beautifully you can see. I immediately advise the clinician or doctor that look, this is cysticercus, a very unusual presentation which is seen here, and don't do anything, put her on medication. Then at times we can see small tumor, ductal dilatation. This is a duct, and a small homogeneous well-defined tumor seen here at the duct. Main thing in this, it may be a ductal carcinoma. The only point which disfavors the malignancy, its